So I'm not anybody's best friend. I have no friends, really, and nobody really likes me. Nobody wants to be my friend, and that's kind of been the story of my whole life. I remember there was this guy, Man Crush Ed. And, in 2008 or 2007 when I met him, in 2009, 2010, and 2011, which is a decade and a half ago now, I would ask him, am I your best friend? Are we best friends? Are we buddies? And he said, I don't like to rank my friends, but no, you're not my best friend. I guess his girlfriend, who later became his wife, was his best friend. But, even so, even in spite of that, there's other men who he's better friends with than me. But he was kind and he said he didn't like to rank his friends. I don't know, I wanted a best buddy. I wanted like a BFF. I wanted a best friend. And frankly, nobody was my best friend. Everybody kind of liked me, but I was nobody's favorite person. So I would on MySpace, for example. I mean, they used to have the rank your top friend. So you got to pick the top 8 friends, and nobody ever picked me as their number one friend. I was never anybody's, best friend. And because my MySpace profile was so sensational and really well done, I mean, there were some people who briefly put me as their number one friend because they realized I was getting bullied and rejected by everyone. But it was insincere. It was not really... unfortunately, I feel like in middle and high school I was bullied and had no friends. In my 20s, I had no friends. In my 30s, nobody wants to be my friend. I've never really had friends. I mean, I have some friends at the moment, and I guess I want to think some of these people are like my best friend. But in a way, it's kind of like Pink Floyd The Wall, I'm like, what? Everybody's rejected me. Everybody's kind of bullied me and said, nobody likes you. Nobody wants to be your friend. So I got to the point where I don't want friends. Like Simon and Garfunkel, I Am a Rock. I have no need of friendship. Friendship causes pain. If everybody's going to reject me, nobody wants to love me, nobody wants to be my friend, I'm not going to be friends with anybody, I'm just going to isolate myself and post on social media all day long. But like Roger Waters at the end, or like Pink Floyd at the end of The Wall, you got to tear down the wall. You got to be a part of the real world. You got to try to let love into your life and into your heart, and you got to make friends. Maybe someday I can find love, like Paul Simon says, a rock can feel no pain, and an island never cries. Everybody rejected me, everybody bullied me, nobody wanted to be my friend, and I isolated myself, and I sat in solitude. But, love is the best feeling. Nothing is better than love. Nothing is better than friendships. Unfortunately, I was like, the Pink Floyd character from The Wall. I was isolated. I sat in complete isolation. Everybody rejected me. Nobody wanted to be my friend. And I got to the point where it's like, I don't need any friends. I need nobody. I don't think I need anything at all. All I need is just... But yeah, unfortunately, you gotta socially... And unfortunately, my mother is enabling this solitary fantasy world, and when she dies, the wall's gonna crumble and I'm gonna be up Schitt's Creek without a paddle. But yeah, I mean, I feel like I've been rejected by everyone. Nobody was my friend. I didn't grow with others in my 20s and 30s. I'm a disabled adult child at 37 years old, no friends, and I don't have any social skills, and that's the story.